There's a quiet skill that separates those who are ruled by life from those who rule their own minds. It's not ambition, it's not intelligence, it's detachment, a word that many misunderstand. They think it means apathy or coldness, but it doesn't. Detachment is not about caring less, it's about caring correctly. It's the art of living fully without being enslaved by what you want. Because what if I told you that the source of most suffering isn't pain, it's clinging? Clinging to people, outcomes, possessions, and identities that are constantly changing. That every time you say, "I need this to be happy," you hand your peace away. That's why learning the art of detachment is one of the most liberating journeys you'll ever take. Let's begin where all human struggle begins, with desire. From the moment you wake up, desire pulls you. You want to check your phone. You want recognition. You want success, love, validation. And there's nothing wrong with wanting. That's human. But when desire becomes need, it becomes a chain. You start to believe your happiness depends on something outside yourself. That's when you lose freedom. The Buddha called this tanha, craving, and taught that it's the root of all suffering. Because what you crave today will eventually fade. That perfect job, that partner, that dream. Even when you get it, the satisfaction doesn't last. Your mind will quickly whisper, "What's next?" Desire keeps moving the finish line. It promises fulfillment, then quietly takes it away. Here's the paradox. The more you try to control life, the more life controls you. You want certainty, so you plan every detail. But when things change, you panic. You want love, so you chase it, and the harder you chase, the faster it slips away. You want wealth, so you work endlessly, and end up enslaved to the very thing you sought freedom from. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Detachment doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing your best and letting go of the outcome. It's focusing on the action, not the reward. Because once you realize that outcomes are unpredictable, you stop fighting the flow of life. And that's when life starts working with you, not against you. Desire has a puppet master, the ego. The part of you that says, "I am what I have. I am what others think of me. I am what I achieve." The ego thrives on attachment. It wants labels, trophies, praise. It's never satisfied because its existence depends on comparison. You can see this everywhere, on social media, at work, even in relationships. People chasing symbols of worth, followers, titles, beauty, validation. But when your sense of self depends on external things, you become fragile. Lose the job and your identity collapses. Lose the relationship and you forget who you are. Lose attention and you feel invisible. Detachment, then, is not about rejecting the world. It's about remembering that you are not the world. You are not your possessions. You are not your opinions. You are not your desires. You are the awareness behind all of it. There's a key difference between desire and intention. Desire says, "I want this because without it, I'm incomplete." Intention says, "I'd love this, but I'm complete either way." Desire creates anxiety. Intention creates clarity. Desire chases. Intention attracts. Desire is noise. Intention is signal. When you shift from desire to intention, you move from neediness to power. You stop begging reality to cooperate and start co-creating with it. Modern psychology backs this up. Studies on emotional resilience show that people who practice acceptance and non-attachment experience less anxiety and depression, because when you stop resisting reality, your nervous system calms down. Your brain stops treating every disappointment like a threat. Letting go isn't passive. It's physiological freedom. It's reclaiming your energy from things you cannot change. Imagine carrying 100 stones in a backpack, each stone a worry, a desire, a memory. Detachment is the act of setting the backpack down. You still walk the same path, but now you can breathe. Let's talk about love, the ultimate attachment. We say, "I can't live without you." We call people my everything. But the truth is, love that becomes dependency isn't love. It's fear of loss disguised as affection. Real love comes from wholeness, not emptiness. It's choosing someone because you want to share your completeness, not because you want them to fill your gaps. The poet Khalil Gibran wrote, "Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you." That's detachment in love. You hold, but you don't cling. You care deeply, but you don't possess. You stay present, but you're not afraid to lose. Because love that demands becomes prison. Love that allows becomes peace. Every spiritual tradition teaches detachment in its own way. In Buddhism, it's the middle path, freedom from craving. In Stoicism, it's the dichotomy of control. In Christianity, it's surrender to divine will. In Hinduism, it's karma yoga, action without attachment to results. Different names, same truth. Peace comes when you stop resisting what is. Because life is transient, everything you touch will eventually fade. Clinging doesn't stop the change. It only makes the letting go painful. The wise don't cling. They participate fully in life, but when it's time to release, they do so with grace. So how do you practice detachment in daily life? It begins with awareness. The next time you feel anxious, ask, "What am I attached to right now?" Is it approval, a specific outcome, a belief about how things should be? Just noticing it dissolves part of its hold. Then, breathe. Observe the feeling without judgment. Let the desire arise, peak, and fall away like a wave. That's how cravings lose power, not by fighting them, but by witnessing them. Meditation is powerful for this reason. It teaches you to sit still while the storm of desire passes, and every time you do, you become less reactive, more peaceful, more powerful. But let's be honest, detachment is harder now than ever before. Because our world is designed to make us attached. Social media monetizes your attention. Advertising thrives on your dissatisfaction. Algorithms feed your desires, one scroll at a time. You're told you need more, buy more, want more, be more. It's a loop of craving, a treadmill that never stops. So detachment today isn't just a spiritual practice. It's a rebellion. It's saying, "I will not be manipulated by the world's illusions of need." The most radical act of freedom is to be content. But don't mistake detachment for inaction. Detachment doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing everything from a centered place. You can chase excellence without being consumed by it. You can dream big and still be at peace if the dream changes. That's the paradox of mastery. When you stop needing to win, you play better. When you stop needing approval, you become magnetic. When you stop forcing outcomes, they start aligning naturally. Detachment brings you into flow, the state of effortless achievement that psychologists like Mihai Csikszentmihalyi described. When you detach from the result, you focus on the process, and that's where greatness happens.
Let's break it down into stages. Stage 1. Awareness. You begin to notice your attachments. You see how they control your mood and decisions. Stage 2. Observation. Instead of fighting desire, you observe it. You allow it to exist without acting on it impulsively. Stage 3. Release. You start letting go of what doesn't serve your peace. Habits, people, beliefs. Stage 4. Freedom. You act from clarity, not craving. You engage with life fully, but nothing owns you. That's when detachment stops being effort. It becomes your nature. Some of the most successful people embody detachment, not because they don't care, but because they're not emotionally enslaved by the outcome. Steve Jobs was known for saying, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." That's detachment. Trust in process over prediction. Athletes who perform under pressure often enter a state of detached focus. They're fully engaged, yet completely surrendered. No anxiety, no overthinking, just flow. That's the kind of power detachment brings. Focus without fear. The deeper your stillness, the stronger your presence. In stillness, you see clearly. You stop reacting, start responding. Stillness doesn't mean stagnation. It means inner order. Like a calm ocean beneath the waves of emotion. In stillness, you realize that you don't need to chase peace. You are peace when you stop chasing. When you master detachment, you become untouchable. Not in an arrogant way, but in a deeply spiritual way. The world can still hurt, but it can't control you. You still love, but without fear of loss. You still dream, but without desperation. You still live, but without resistance. You've discovered what every philosopher, mystic, and sage tried to tell us. Freedom isn't found in getting what you want. It's found in wanting less. The art of detachment isn't about leaving the world. It's about finally being in it completely. To feel everything, yet cling to nothing. To act passionately, yet accept whatever comes. To love deeply, yet remain free. That is mastery. That is peace. That is power. So next time desire whispers, "You'll be happy when," smile. Because you already are.